Hello everyone and welcome back to SaiyanSquabbles. I'm yours truly, Papa Ping Pong, here to bring you a video that everyone's already covered and talked about before, and I'm gonna not be adding a lot to this discussion, and we are going to be talking about the new emergency ban list where they've hit 4 cards, and I think everyone saw this coming. But before we get into that, I do have a giveaway going on. Make sure to go check out the video and enter if you haven't already. We are giving away a Unison Warrior booster box and 3 of the starter decks. So as I said before, everyone's already covered this. We had Crossworlds, Eggman, Android, Super Players. They've all checked out, and there's plenty of others that have checked it out in between. But yeah, so I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm going to go over these cards. They all do pretty much the same thing and were banned for pretty much all the same reason. I'm gonna go over all of them. I'm gonna try to give my opinion, but again, it's pretty much the same as everyone else's. But I'm gonna give a solution to where they didn't have to ban potentially. And in addition, after I go over that, if you guys are interested, I'm going to continue the video and we are gonna go over the entire history of all the banned cards, and I'm going to give my opinion on them and a potential way around their bans, because me personally, I always prefer erratas. However, I understand erratas can get very cumbersome, and that's kind of what we're going to do today. So anyways, we're going to start off with Viara, Everlasting Assault. He has critical, and he has it to when you play him, he can't replace himself. And his active main battle, which this is going to go across for Viara, Nagrishi, Paparoni, and Anilaza. Choose one of your black battle cards. It's active main or battle. Choose one of your black battle cards that energy cost of 4, and this will cohere with the rest of their energy cost. And send to the owner's warp. Play this card from your drop area. So basically, he can play himself for free if you have a black battle card with energy cost of 4, and he's an additional swing. You can do this battle, so it can be your opponent's turn when they're attacking something, if you block or do anything along those lines. And this is free. You can do this with 0 energy, along with so you Bardock Awaken Instincts, you can Overwhelm for free just by having 4 in your drop. Then you can go into Viara, all for free. So and he's critical, which is always good. He's a threat to the awakened and unawakened leader. So that's going to be the same kind of across the board here. These guys don't have anything else other than they replace themselves, or they replace a black card, and getting these guys in your drop is pretty much no issue, especially with the Vegex leader. This was how people were abusing it the most, is Vegex will burst 5, place their Saiyans in the drop area, play them, then play these guys off of the Saiyan cards that you bursted with that effect. But there are people splicing into other decks, like hand control decks with those new unique Goku, that new unique black Goku, because they can go into an Nagrishi from that. Same with the double striking Zeno Bardock with Burnhan, and there's the Toa that's coming out that I talked about in the tournament pack video that Paparoni here can go into, and that was probably very close to being abused, and etc, etc. So the issue here was that it was becoming way too splashable, it's way too generic, and it's free. If this card was, or if these cards had an energy cost to use their effect, I don't think they'd be much of a problem, but they do not. They're free. You can play just 15k beater. It's reminiscent almost of what Storm was. Do I think Vegex is as broken as everyone else is claiming to be and everyone is freaking out? No. But I still think it was the best deck going into set 10. But this was very easy to get in the drop. You can do stuff like Bardock Awaken Instincts effect to just drop it. You can any burst effect. I think the green Goku also has the burst 3, anything like that. And so the issue just again would lie on they were free. They pretty much had no restriction. Getting a black battle card with the specified energy cost is not hard. The only one I don't think was that broken was Anilaza the Towering Atrocity, but they were probably banning him to future-proof it, which I think is the smart and correct call. But 5 drops normally already cost energy to play, and they're not being played until turn 3 or turn 4, and a double strike turn 3 or turn 4 in addition is not that big of a deal. But I'm still glad they banned it, but I'm going to offer what I think would have been better for these guys is, instead of banning, I think they should have just simply given it the unique tag, or if they didn't give it the unique tag, they should have limited it to 1 and limit it to black leaders, so other decks cannot be abusing this. But unique and or limiting it to black leaders, and of course instead of unique limiting, one of those two. I don't think cards need to be 0 or 4 in this game, but that's just simply where we're at. So that's pretty much my opinion on it. Again, it's pretty similar to everyone else's. There's not a lot to talk about, but we're now going to go into the ban list that we've had, and I'm going to give my opinions on everything that we've had banned so far and the potential erratas we can give them to become relevant again. Alright, so here we are with some of the first banned cards. So these are actually not banned, they're limited. These are the only 2 limited cards we have in the game right now are Cold Bloodlust and Growing Evil Lifeform Cell. So let's get into it. Growing Evil Lifeform Cell, basically what he did is for 3 energy, potentially 2 with the field spell, I think. I don't quite remember. Oh, sorry about that. But you can, for 3 energy, we're just going to say 3 because I don't want to be wrong, you could rip your opponent's hand down to 3 cards. So this is basically Gogeta before Gogeta came out. And the start of the chain, they limited to 1. So he doesn't have Deflect or Barrier like anything, but this guy being limited to 1, I don't think he needs to be limited, but I don't know. Works. It is July 3rd. But I think that would be it. Maybe bump him to an energy cost or no, I think that's fine. Just make it to where he lose the Goku's lineage tag and only look at top 2 rather than top 3, and then make it maybe shuffle your deck afterward. So this guy, there's not much to talk about. He got a reboot, and I think the reboot did a perfect job of balancing him. I think he's fine. Child's Wish. This is going to be a harder one. So this is a desire, so you can play it for free with Shenron if you have the corresponding amount of energy. If your leader requires a Shenron card, choose 1 battle card with an energy cost of 3 and 15k power or less, and play it. I think if you made this a 3 cost and made it to where you cannot activate Child's Wish for the duration of the turn, that would be perfectly fine. I think a hard once per turn and increasing this to an energy cost of 3 is perfectly fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. Bardock. Bardock's going to be a harder one. I think if you made Bardock a 5 cost and restricted him to Goku's lineage leaders for his auto, or 5k, did I say 5 cost? If you make his power 5k and if you restrict his auto to plus 10k combo power, and you can play an energy or a Saiyan with an energy cost of 3 or less from your hand. I think you simply reduce the energy cost of the Saiyan to 1, he'd be fine. And yeah. Make and very, very strong still. I don't know. I honestly don't have an answer for that one. Maybe you guys have a better idea for me in the comments. So Zeno button. Counterattack. Switch all of your blue energy to active mode. I think if you made it a 1 cost and made it mono blue, it would be fine. Yeah, I think that'd be okay. Now I gotta think about it. Make it mono blue. Make it a 1 cost and make it sparking 5. I think that'd be fine. Mercenary Tau. This guy got banned right before Universal Onslaught came out because they were pushing for hand control. So Mercenary Tau, barrier. If your opponent's leader card is yellow or green, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. And then auto once per turn when this card. When a card from your hand is placed in your drop area by an opponent's skill, your opponent chooses 3 cards in their hand and sends it to their warp. So very powerful. Just pooped on hand control decks, especially because they made it to where hand control doesn't draw as much anymore. I think this guy can be fine if you made him unique and you dropped it to 1 card. Your opponent has to send 1 card from their drop area or from their hand to their warp. Tien, returning fire. If your opponent's leader card is red or blue, reduce the energy cost of the card in your hand by 3. When you play this card, your opponent can't switch energy to active mode from a non-awakened skill into the end of your opponent's next turn. So he basically stopped blue decks, and he's a 15k attacker, so he's still a nice attack. A 1-drop 15k that made your opponent stop being blue, basically. I think if you made him Borgos, literally Borgos, if your opponent switches it once per turn, if your opponent switches a card to active mode, and make him unique. But if your opponent switches a card to active mode by non-awakened skill before the start of their next turn, you choose 1 card in their energy and place it in the drop area. I think that'd be okay. And make it to where he doesn't become a 1 cost. Make it a 2 cost still. I think that'd be a lot more fair. Unyielding Spirit Trunks. During your turn, when you combo this card, if your leader card is blue, choose up to 1 of your energy and switch to active mode. I think he should be a 0k combo cost, or 0k combo power. Then, make it to where your energy has to be mono blue. I think that would fix this guy. Still very strong. Yeah, I don't know if that'd make him be able to go up to 4. I think just make it a hard once per turn. Then you can activate Unyielding Spirit Trunks effect for the duration of the turn. Objection. I think simply restrict this to blue leaders. I think that will fix this card. Believe it or not, I think that's the one thing it needs. Keep it the same because you're still negging 2. And it's a 2 cost, but then just restrict to blue leaders, and I think it'll be okay. Turles. Make him... Restrict him... Oh, make him leader lock to Hachiyak. I think that's all you need. Just leader lock him to Hachiyak, and that's it. He's fine. Plan for Destruction. I don't think this card needed to be entirely banned. I think limited would be fine. But again, Bandai is doing the 0 to 4 thing. And I think they should have restricted it to where this card can't be placed like a permanent. This card can't be placed from your energy area to your hand. I think that would have been fine. Force Ejection Mass Saiyan, stopping ramping strategies basically. Active main once per turn. If you have a card in your energy area during your charge, if you place the card into your energy during your charge phase, and your opponent has less energy, or if you have less energy than your opponent, choose one of your opponent's energy and send it to their warp. Personally, I don't think this card needed to be banned because you can still only play one a turn, but maybe make it to where he's 2 energy, and you make it to where you can't play him for the duration of the turn for decks that like Demigra or if you're just hard casting it, and make him an Overrealm 2 or the energy cost of the Overrealm 2. Begrudging Respect Piccolo does the same thing. This first effect doesn't matter. The only difference is when you play him. It's on active main once per turn like this guy is. I think make him a 3 cost. And simply you can't play him for the duration of the turn. Like a hard once per turn, basically. Android 21 Violent Predator. This one is a lot more difficult. I think if you get rid of Deflect, and you make it to where you place all of your opponent's monocolor energy in rest mode, then place it at the bottom of their deck, right? And then shuffle their deck. Yeah, because she takes everything monocolor on your opponent's side of the board, ignoring barrier, and shuffles it into the deck. I think if you make it target just things in rest mode and remove Deflect, she'd be fine. Gogeta Hero Revive, the last ban card that we're going to talk about today. Ugh. My mic stand thing keeps falling. I think make him leader locked to blue leaders and get rid of Deflect or Barrier, one of the two. I don't think you need to get rid of both, but lock him to blue leaders and get rid of Deflect or Barrier. And I think that would be enough. Maybe both, but at least one or the other. And yeah, because people are only running him at 1 anyway, so like a limit is not really necessary. But get rid of Barrier or Deflect and make it leader locked to blue leaders. And I think that solves it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to do something just a little different since everyone is just, you know, talking about the U3 stuff and everyone has said the same thing. There's nothing really different that anyone's talking about. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys are all staying safe. Make sure to check out the giveaway, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
See ya.